Greetings and welcome to the first episode, part two of Association Matters, the PCAE official podcast for conversations on governance, leadership, and impact for the association sector. We are your host. I'm Bobby.
And I am Emily. And today we explore a foundational question. Why do associations matter today? We all know that associations exist for a mission, from shaping industry and professional standards to influencing public policy and driving collaborative action. Associations play a unique role in today's rapidly changing world.
So, for this podcast, we will feature a professional association whose members are agriculturists. To help us discuss this topic, we are joined by Dr. Karen Bautista, immediate past president of the Philippine Association of Agriculturists.
Dr. Karen is also president of Philippine Association of Soil and Science and Technology and a 2025 Distinguished Service Awardee. Among her notable achievements as a PAA leader is the signing into law in May 2025 of the Philippine Agriculturalist Act and the signing of the Presidential Proclamation 544 declaring July as Philippine Agriculturalist Month. What an achievement.
Congratulations. So excellent work, Dr. Karen, and thank you again for being here. So to start off, this is our first question. So how would you describe the role of professional associations such as PAA in the Philippine context today?
Thank you, Sir Bobby and Ms. Emily. First of all, we would like, on behalf of the Philippine Association of Agriculturists, we would like to thank PCAE for inviting us to talk about the importance of association in this podcast. First, let me introduce what the Philippine Association of Agriculturists is. We are an accredited, integrated professional organization recognized by the Professional Regulations Commission. And under the umbrella of PAA, we have 7 associate national professional organizations and 18 regional chapters across the country. And we are governed by the board, which is chaired by Dr. Roberto Ranyola, and the board members were the representatives from the 7 ANPOs. So as an accredited integrated professional organization, we represent more than 50,000 registered agriculturists nationwide. So our mission basically is to build the capacity of registered agriculturists to meet the challenges of the agro industry and advocate for sustainable agricultural development through policy research and strategic partnerships. In the Philippine context, agriculturists are essential instruments to increase the productivity of the agriculture sector. So without the registered agriculturists, the agriculture sector will suffer. When we map out the employment of registered agriculturists all over the Philippines, we are employed in national government agencies and local government units, specifically in planning, developing, and implementing agricultural programs and projects. Agriculturists are also working in the research institutions as researchers, as faculty members in state universities and colleges, as technical personnel in the private sector. And to meet the capacity building needs of our registered agriculturists, we are implementing several programs and projects. The PAA is quite active in implementing projects on human resources and institutional development, policy advocacy, communication, extension services, and partnerships and network building. And over the years, we have achieved great milestones. Let me enumerate some of those milestones of the PAA. We have fully digitalized the membership portal of PAA. So we have more than 50,000 agriculturists and more than 20,000 members, including regular and associate members. And we have also invested in data security, in protecting the membership profile of our members, in lobbying of policies for the welfare of our Filipino agriculturists. We have also active communication campaigns for information dissemination. We have corporate social responsibility activities. So these milestones were achieved through the efforts of all PAA officers who are working under the spirit of volunteerism. So
Hmm.
we're not receiving any honorarium or honoraria, and this is coupled with the trust, continued support, and cooperation of PAA members nationwide.
Wow, that's a really strong example and insight into the breadth of the work that PAA does
Right.
and the influence that they must have. To bring that to life for our audience, could you share a specific case study or story that highlights a moment where PAA made a significant impact to the sector?
Thank you, Ms. Emily. One of the case studies that we will highlight is the policy advocacy activities that the PAA has carried out for the past 2 to 3 years. And it led to the signing of two policy instruments by the President of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos Jr. One is the Presidential Proclamation 544, declaring July of every year as the Philippine Agriculturist Month. And this is the first time that we felt that we are recognized as professionals.
Congratulations, yes.
Thank you, sir. And we started our nationwide celebration of the PA month through the conduct of trainings, CSR activities, social media engagements, webinars, and other activities to emphasize the role of agriculturists in nation building. Another policy instrument that really made a significant impact on the working environment of our registered agriculturists is the passage of the Philippine Agriculturist Bill in the House of Representatives and Senate of the Philippines. And eventually, it was signed into law by the President last year. This is quite significant because among the 46 recognized professions in the Philippines, agriculture is the remaining profession which does not have its own professional regulatory law. So last year was the very first time that we have our own PRL. This effort is together with the PRC Board of Agriculture. We have also prepared the implementing rules and regulations of the law, and it is under review by the PRC. So one of the expected benefits of the law is the expansion of employment opportunities for registered agriculturists who are also members of PAA. And agriculturist positions will now be strictly occupied by registered agriculturists. Other professions could not apply if they are not registered agriculturists. And it sets also the education and eligibility requirements for agriculturists. Moreover, it also boosted the morale of our members, of the PAA members who are registered agriculturists. They can now put a professional title appendage at the end of their name legally. It's RAGR. This is one of the most significant impact of the law. They can now work in a more comprehensive manner and in a more, because before they look at agriculture as a low-level profession. And with the passage of the professional regulatory law, the Philippine government really recognized the importance of agriculturists in shaping the agriculture sector and in shaping the nation and in ensuring the food security of the Philippines.
Wow, fantastic milestone, Dr. Karen. This very wonderful news to hear about the achievements of PAA. But, all these achievements, can you, when looking ahead, what do you see are the key challenges and opportunities for PAE in the next number of years or decade? What do you think?
Thank you, Sir Bobby, for that question. So in our executive committee meetings, we are also doing some planning for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years. And one of the key challenges that we have identified is the increase in membership. If we will look at the number of agriculture students right now enrolling agriculture as a higher education course, it is quite dwindling. And this will in turn be translated to a decrease in agriculture graduates who will become agriculturists later and also as PAA members. That's why we need to strengthen our partnership with other government agencies like the Department of Education, the Commission on Higher Education, to formulate strategies on how to encourage our youth to take up agriculture as a course in their higher education. To address this concern, we also conceptualize the PAA Youth, that will be operationalized in our state universities and colleges. And this will equip them with the knowledge and skills on the different fields of specialization in agriculture. Although we have identified the challenge, I still have one more challenge.
Sure.
Sir Bobby. It's on how to sustain the engagement of our agriculturists. This is really a challenge if the number of members will not increase in the next few years. So one of the strategies is to provide continuing professional development activities like webinars, which could be given for free. Some will be paid, but most of them will be for free to our registered agriculturists. And in terms of opportunities, of course, we have opportunities that we are seeing for the next 10 years. One of them is that PAA is now more visible and relevant. And with this, we can establish more institutional partnerships with the government institutions, civil society organizations, and private sector to co-sponsor some of our CSR activities. And another opportunity is for the PAA to be involved in crafting policies in the House of Representatives and Senate of the Philippines as technical working group members to review those proposed House bills and Senate bills, and also participate in consultation workshops being organized by the Department of Agriculture. Currently, we are being invited as technical working group members and also as participants in those
Right.
consultation workshops to provide inputs in the development of some policies.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Karen, for those really insightful comments. And I see there's a lot of challenges, but also a lot of opportunity and thought that's going into them as well. For our viewers, to wrap up, we have 3 key takeaways from today's session with Dr. Karen. Number one, I think the backbone, an association is the backbone of a profession, representing over 50,000 members nationwide. Professional associations like PAA are the backbone of their sector, and they amplify the voice of an entire profession, enabling real influence on policy standards and national development priorities. Number 2 is impact beyond members, is what I heard there too. So your work doesn't just benefit members, it strengthens industries, supports communities, and advances sectors critical to economic and social progress. And number 3 is that future-focused growth. And that future of any profession depends on engaging the next generation, which I personally think is so important. And facing the declining enrolment, PAA is building partnerships and launching youth chapters to inspire future agriculturalists. Associations stay relevant when they nurture that next generation and stay active at the policy table.
Great takeaways, Emily. And thank you again, Dr. Karen, for joining us. This is all we have for this podcast. For the Association Matters, where governance, leadership, and impact come together. This podcast is brought to you by the Philippine Council of Associations and Association Executives and Members, AMS.
Subscribe to our podcast and visit the PCAA website for updates and full episode notes. Until next time, thank you.
Thank you.